Guys, I'm back for my Smackdown review. I already got this video uploaded a bit earlier today, but I've been out at my cousin's like 4th birthday party, so that is no reason for not getting the video up sooner. Sorry, no videos in my garden today because it's absolutely hammering down with rain. So yeah, anyways, this video is going to be obviously talking about Smackdown and also about some other stuff that's like gone on in like WWE this week, but I'll talk about Smackdown first. Well, Smackdown was okay. There were some good bits, like good like developments in storylines, but then there was other bits that were just kind of average. So kind of like the normal kind of flow of Smackdown, really. The first match was Sheamus versus Great Khali, and Sheamus actually got like a really like big pop from the crowd, which was good. So you can tell that he's kind of already gone straight into like kind of like being face after like a week. Because you know sometimes wrestlers they'll do something that will get them cheered, but then the next week they kind of stay like what they were like before. But you know I think he has actually gone straight into like the face kind of role now. So we'll see how that goes anyway. And I was actually surprised he actually got like a decent match out of Great Khali. No joke, you know, I mean Khali's never been great, honestly. Normally his matches are like dire and like okay at very best, but this match actually wasn't too bad. It obviously was supposed to be, you know, like Khali was like preparation for Mark Henry, like also Sheamus like facing Mark Henry at SummerSlam. Obviously because Khali's like a big guy like Mark Henry is. But yeah, this match wasn't too bad, and in the end Sheamus like, you know, fought his way out of the vice grip and won with the bro kick. So that was that. Divas match, it was AJ versus Natalya, which I thought that's a bit weird, you know, because like Natalya's been like AJ's mentor for like ages. So it just seemed a bit weird, you know, that they were facing each other. But the match was alright, and Natalya won with the sharpshooter. And then after the match, she was obviously kind of like, you know, picking AJ up, almost kind of, you know, like I'll give her a hug or whatever. But then she like turned on her, like threw her out of the ring, and you know, like attacked her and like, you know, like kind of, well, not speared her, but like, you know, rammed her into like the ring apron. And obviously she like obviously got the mic and said, you know, that she was on the same side as Beth Phoenix, and you know she was doing like, she was like on her side. And that it was, you know, going to be like the end of like kind of like the pretty cute divas, you know, their time, and it was like going to be like her and like Beth Phoenix's kind of time to, you know, yeah, beat them all up basically. I worded that really appallingly, but I just couldn't think what I was saying. But no, I think this is like the first time I've actually enjoyed or like looked forward to something in like the women's division. Obviously apart from obviously when Karma came in, I thought that was going to be really good, but then we all know what happened with that. So obviously I'm glad that, you know, they're actually doing something with like Beth and Natalya, obviously because they're so much better than like what they've been doing recently. So obviously, hopefully, yeah, they'll just be this like really cool like tag team that like takes out like all the divas and stuff. So that'll be good. Wade Barrett came out on commentary to commentate during Tyson Kidd versus Daniel Bryan, and I have to admit I wasn't really paying attention to this match because I was like getting ready to go out to like Amy's birthday party. So I was just kind of like half watching in the mirror while I was doing my hair. So not the best way to watch wrestling. You can't really kind of take in what's going on. But Daniel Bryan won the match with a roundhouse kick and the, I think it was Anaconda choke. I was going to say the Anaconda Vice then, but that's not his move, that's CM Punk's move. So, yeah, I think that match was supposed to be quite good, as you know. I wasn't really paying attention, like I said. Zack Ryder, obviously he's still supposed to be like the general manager's assistant, which is good, so I'm hoping that this thing does stick. He came out to do the State of the Showski address, which is quite funny. Zack Ryder's hilarious. Then like he hadn't been talking very long, and Ezekiel Jackson came out, and like I don't know if I was supposed to see some kind of point to like the thing that they were talking about the handicap match last week, but whatever it was, it didn't really make that much sense. But then Cody Rhodes came out and was basically saying that Ezekiel Jackson is a disgrace to the Intercontinental title, and that he was obviously going to beat him and make the championship actually worth something again. But Zeke says that he just replied and started talking about Ted DiBiase. He says that he's basically like Cody's slave. He's not like a friend to Cody. Cody's only kind of like using him. He said he was in the same position when he was in the core. Then Cody says he was going to make a match between Ted DiBiase and like Ezekiel Jackson. Zack Ryder says that's fine, but then Teddy Long comes out and says, you know, he, you know, isn't the actual assistant general manager. He's like Teddy Long's assistant, so he can't like just do what he wants. So Teddy Long makes a match between Ezekiel Jackson and Zack Ryder, which is like, okay then. And it's pretty much a squash match. Ezekiel Jackson wins with the torture rack, and that was that really. So you know, Zack Ryder's like kind of half push gone. He like loses already. And I read like on the internet, like apparently you didn't see it on camera, but in a dark like kind of bit after that, Triple H came out and pedigreed Zack Ryder. Like, what was the point in that? Seriously, just what would be the point in that? You know, it just makes no sense. But anyway, moving on. Mark Henry versus Vladimir Kozlov. Boring. Mark Henry won with the World's Strongest Slam, and he does like the splash on the chair, like that he did to like Big Show and Kane on Kozlov. But Sheamus comes out and chases Mark Henry out of the ring with like a chair. Triple threat tag team match, JPG. Honestly, I didn't even know that he was still working for WWE. He hasn't been on anything in so long. But anyway, it's JPG, Atunga and McGillicuddy, yawn, boring team, versus Trent Barretta and the Usos. I didn't pay attention to this match because I just really don't enjoy, like, like, it's weird, like, tag team, like, other tag team matches are fine, but the tag team matches for the tag team titles are so boring because the teams are just like, don't get me wrong, the Usos, I don't have a problem with them, but just while anybody has to face the, like, you know, new Nexus, or I know they're not calling themselves that anymore, they're just so boring, and I just don't want to watch any match that they're in. It just automatically makes me switch off as soon as they come in. I forgot to mention Daniel Bryan has new entrance music, which is weird, because even though his old one wasn't good, you kind of get used to it. This one is like different. It's more, I don't know what the word is. Doesn't sound quite so classical, but, you know, it's still, like, not like the entrance music of anybody else in the WWE. Anyway, back to this match. David Otunga gets a pinfall. That's all I'm going to say about that match, because it wasn't really that interesting. Johnny Curtis is making his debut on Smackdown next week. Aren't we all so excited? Isn't everybody going to tune in just for that? No. So, main event, Randy Orton and John Morrison versus Christian and R-Truth. Why is, like, John Morrison and why are John Morrison and R-Truth suddenly on Smackdown now? Are they kind of, like, I was going to say freelance then, that's not the word I was looking for. Free agent guys that are just on, like, both shows? Because it doesn't really seem to be anybody else that kind of switches between the shows, but obviously the last 2 weeks they've both been on there. So I don't really know what's happening there. Average tag team match, really, you know. I think Morrison took out Truth on the outside, and, you know, they hadn't seen him for a while, but he kind of came in to try and obviously like, help Christian, but Randy Orton hit the RKO on R-Truth, but then, like, when Orton had his back turned, Christian hit the kill switch and actually got the pin on Orton, which doesn't happen very often, so, because I think he's never really actually properly pinned him before without either cheating or, like, something, so obviously Christian actually got the win, and then after the match he was obviously celebrating on the ramp and, like, kissing his title belt and stuff, which is weird, but, you know. So yeah, averagey kind of Smackdown, but obviously, yeah, the other thing I was going to say, obviously, that WWE obviously have made, like, they released, like, well, kind of released and someone quit, like, you know, WWE, like, 5 people in, like, a week, you know, which, I know they kind of, once a year, they tend to, like, get rid of a few people, but some of them, I was actually quite surprised, obviously, well, not really much surprised, but I think apparently Gail Kim, like, just walked out, because on the Back Divas, I didn't really even notice it, but apparently the Divas Battle Royal on Raw, she kind of just, like, eliminated herself and just, like, walked out, so I didn't even pay attention to that, but apparently that's what happened, so she was saying that she quit. Some said that they already fired her, but she's gone, but she wasn't really doing anything anyway. I know it's a shame, because Gail Kim did used to be really good when she was in WWE in 2003. Sure, it's 2003. I used to think that she was, like, really good and stuff, so I think WWE could have done a lot more with her. But, you know, and obviously they've got rid of Melina as well, which, you know, again, she didn't really do very much, but I'm still quite surprised. Obviously I don't know what's going to happen, because obviously she's with, like, John Morrison, so I've seen that some people on the internet have said that they don't know what that's going to do about, like, you know, Morrison's kind of, like, relationship with the company. Obviously if he sides with her or whatever's going to happen, I don't actually know, but I couldn't see him leaving WWE just because they fired Melina. But anyway, apparently Davey Hart Smith has been released, but I didn't even know that he still worked for WWE. He hasn't been on anything or done anything for so long, so that's not a big deal. Then we also released, something's gone really dark in here. Then we also released Chris Masters, which again, he didn't make, he wasn't really on, like, was he on Smackdown or was he on Raw? I don't know which show he was on, but he hasn't been on there that much. But apparently he was doing quite well on, like, Superstars and stuff. I kind of, like, obviously just read it on, like, the forum that I got, and a lot of people have said that he was actually doing quite well for himself, so they were actually quite angry that he'd, like, been fired. And also Vladimir Kozlov is gone, which, you know, I know he hasn't been, like, since, like, you know, the flopped kind of storyline, you know, when he was, like, actually competing for the WWE title. He's obviously been quite good, like, working for, like, Santino, and he's also been quite good for, like, matches on, like, Smackdown, or, you know, like, he was against, like, Mark Henry, so just to be a guy to kind of, for people to face when they're kind of, like, building up their own, like, other storylines and stuff. So I was actually quite surprised that Kozlov's gone, even though, you know, he's nowhere near great. It's a bit like, oh, okay, then he's gone. But, you know, so obviously they seem to be going through and, like, releasing. But then it doesn't make sense, like, how people, like, you know, JTG are still wrestling for them when he's, like, awful. Why they even kept, like, Johnny Curtis on for this long before he's even debuted makes, like, no sense to me. There's so many people that could and should just get fired but don't, but whatever, I guess that's, you know, WWE booking for you. Anyway, the lighting seems to have gone, like, really dark, so if you can't actually see me now, I apologise. So I'm going to end this video because I just can't be bothered to get up and turn the light on when I'm so close to the end of the video. But yeah, no, so thanks for watching this video. I will be back on Wednesday for my Raw review, which will probably be my last review for about a week or two because I'm going away, so I won't be able to do a Smackdown review, and I won't be able to do the SummerSlam and Raw review at least until the following weekend, which is a shame. But yeah, anyway, so I will see you on Wednesday for my Raw review, so have a good rest of the weekend and start of the week, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!